Hello, world.
Hello, world. Are you eating on the air?
Why not? They don't pay me enough to tell me I can't.
You're
How
kind
you
of
doing?
you're kind of disgusting.
I'm always disgusting, man.
Holy
This
cow.
shirt has the deepest V. I got chest hair coming out everywhere today.
What is that thing behind you? Over your
one?
left shoulder.
This one?
That thing.
Vacuum.
It's been sitting there for days.
I use it every day.
Do you use it?
Every day.
I thought maybe you threw clothes on it.
No. It's those two assholes in the living room that like to pee and poop everywhere. So it's my constant carpet maintenance.
Okay.
So
we got it. It's a Friday night. We rarely do Friday nights.
Well, hold on. You are listening live, watching live. Rally around the natty. How's my feed? Am I choppy?
You're not choppy today.
Yeah, I changed a couple things.
You're smooth. You're like butter.
Smooth as silk. Yeah. We have a short agenda today because the last episode was Wednesday and not a whole hell of a lot has happened in the last 48 hours.
No. I think, well, never mind. Go ahead. I'm not going to cover what I was about to say.
Well,
we'll do that later.
First things first. Charity. Go ahead.
Charity. Hit it.
It's your turn.
You want me to hit it?
Hit it.
It's for a tremendous cause. I mean, this is a tragedy that people are going to remember for years and years and years to come. And again, put yourself, if you care or dare to, put yourself in the shoes, really in the hearts of the parents of these children. They did nothing wrong. Their children gunned down. Inexplicably, why things like this happen. It happens constantly in this country now. We need to do something about that. But first, I think we need to show some love, as much love as we can, for the families and the parents of those very, very innocent children that got shot down. We're not asking for anything. We're asking for whatever, a nickel, a quarter, a dollar,
and
whatever.
If you can't donate, just share the link.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll put you in the running for the Jamar Chase jersey if you share the link at this point.
This is a damn good cause. A damn good cause. Not that other causes aren't, but my goodness, this one had to hit home with everybody.
Here, I'll make that official. If you even just share the link, because I'll get that notification. If you share the link for the GoFundMe that I put out later tonight, I'll put you in the drawing for that jersey around November, because it means that much to me.
At least they're spreading the word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you can't donate $1, at least get that out there for me, because that one means the world to me. And I don't want to do this too much. We'll get to our comment here in a section, but I don't want to do this too much. But I will say this: I was a teacher for a brief moment. I did substitute teaching for 6 or 7 years. I am a licensed educator in the state of Ohio. I do have my master's in secondary English education. I've done my student teaching. I can go teach in a high school classroom tomorrow if I want to. Okay, I'm qualified. I got the job offers. Doesn't matter. There was a bill passed, or at least presented by the GOP today, that made its way to Mike DeWine's desk.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give teachers guns, man.
No.
I'm telling you from personal experience, the last thing you want to do is, I know a lot of these teachers, I would not trust most of them with a gun.
Well,
all it's going to take is one bad minute, and you got a huge problem.
You don't want to put more guns in the school. You're supposed to eliminate them.
Well,
don't put more in.
That's one of the thought processes of people that are really gung-ho for, the Second Amendment. And I don't care one way or the other. I believe in the Second Amendment. But man, I think if you have a gun problem, adding more guns to it doesn't quite make sense. If you got a fire, you don't hit it with more fire.
Sure.
If someone's drowning, you don't throw more water on them. It's
exactly.
just kind of one of those things.
Yeah, you got to call. That's why they have recalls on cars. They stop building them when things start to break. They don't go, let's just build some more.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any.
And we're gonna leave it there. This isn't a political show, but just share the damn link. if you could. But
Who
we
dey,
got
Hoss?
we got our boy Haas. Who dey Haas?
Yes.
I still haven't got that link for your hot dog yet. I will send you one. Just DM me.
And I agree with that, Hoss. I agree.
But we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. We're just going to say we agree because we don't want to be political, but
Right. We don't want
I'm
to
with
stir
you,
the
Hoss.
pot.
That could be a second hot dog right there.
Yeah.
A double dunker.
We'll leave it at that.
Hoss, hey, I want to ask Hoss a question.
Okay, let it rip.
I don't know where Hoss. I can't remember. Where is Hoss local or is he abroad? Do we know?
I have no idea where any of our people are at.
Hoss, what city do you reside?
Bone. My chicken wing doesn't have a bone.
What?
It's like a chicken.
Then it's not a chicken wing. It's a chicken thing.
I don't. How do I bite this? Whoop. Found a bone.
Well, I haven't seen an answer yet as to where Hoss resides. What I'm getting at is I'm wondering if he goes to Bengal games, if he attends games at Paul Brown Stadium.
I don't know. I'd love to meet up with him.
Yeah, we need to meet up with him.
30 minutes. Oh, he's in Trenton.
Oh, Trenton. Okay. Well, he probably frequents, or at least occasionally, takes in a Bengal game.
Mm-hmm.
We will have to hook up at a Bengal game.
I'll bring him a hot dog. There you go.
I'll be carrying it in a beer bottle, in a beer can.
Drill a hole through it. He can use it as a straw.
Yeah.
That won't look provocative.
No, that won't look. Might look like Carson Palmer in a many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Season ticket holder.
Damn, he's better than us. Well,
I'm better than me. Now I'm a season ticket holder. I've recently taken the plunge.
I looked into to club season tickets today and felt poor.
Club?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There was a comma in there.
Yeah.
That was enough for me.
Yeah, you don't need to be dealing in commas. Not right now.
I need to make another comma first.
Right.
We'll be thinking about it.
All right, so what are we going to talk about? I heard you were going to talk about somebody that I think everybody used to like, and he's kind of going the route of Mr. Palmer.
Yeah. So, for those of you that don't know, there was a story with Andrew Whitworth today. I guess he was on one of the bigger podcasts, Pivot. I've watched it a few times. It's a pretty good podcast. But they had asked him about his time in Cincinnati, and I think it all kind of stemmed around, like, are you going to go in the Hall of Fame if you go as a Ram or a Bengal? Sounded like he was kind of leaning toward the Rams, which I get. You won the Super Bowl there. You've been there basically half your career. You know, you had the most success on the field there. I'm not mad about that. What I'm mad about is this guy, every single time he's asked about the Bengals, can't just leave it to, I played for the Bengals.
Right.
He goes the Carson Palmer route and just starts bitching. When he won the Man of the Year speech, you know, that was back in January, early February. So we're going back 5 months. He complained about the Bengals then. When he won the Super Bowl, during his Super Bowl speech, complained about him again there. So he's using platforms. So when he's given one of the most, if you ask the players, prestigious awards you can get, and I hold Walter Payton in a damn high regard, so I do believe that, uses his platform to bitch about the Bengals during a Walter Payton acceptance speech. Something I can't see Walter Payton doing.
No.
Then wins a Super Bowl in front of all of his fans in LA and uses it to bitch about the Bengals. Really? Now today, they asked him about his time in Cincinnati. Obviously, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. He's going to bitch about the Bengals, and that's what he did. Whit, my man, I understand you felt cheated. A lot of people did. I'm not mad about why you're mad. What I'm mad about is it's been 7 years. You got your contract. You got your ring. You got out. Everything went the fairy tale lifestyle for you. You won the Walter Payton Man of the Year. You won a Super Bowl. You live in California. You got a beautiful wife, beautiful, healthy family, and millions of dollars. But you can't keep bitching about Cincinnati. I don't get it. So he goes on tell this story about how around 2015, he writes a letter, not goes up to him face to face, writes a letter to Mike Brown about how you need to take care of me and my family because I've given you everything. I get contract disputes, but again, he threatened to leave the team in that letter.
Yeah.
Again, something I can't see a Walter Payton Man of the Year doing, quitting on your team and leaving on your team. I know that's an off the field award, but you're going to name it after Walter, man. Walter's in a class of his own. Walter wouldn't have done. I don't understand. When's it stop with this guy?
I don't know. I just can't can't get past the letter.
But here's the thing, because he probably is going to the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
If I had a vote, I would vote that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He's a damn good tackle. But now I'm worried that he's going to get his Hall of Fame speech, go up there as a Ram, and then guess what? Bitch about the Bengals in front of national TV.
It wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't say it directly. There'll be some level of innuendo.
Exactly. It's just he can't keep his mouth shut.
Right.
It's just, I get it. It's gone. It's over. Drop it, man. This is a game.
I think the bottom line is the Bengals missed on that one.
Well,
they thought
missed
he was getting old.
Fine. But guess what? The people that missed on that one aren't in charge anymore. So he's complaining about something that he can't get rectified for somebody that doesn't really do the job anymore. It doesn't matter.
But again, anybody can misjudge. What round pick was he out of Tennessee?
Second.
He was a second.
LSU.
Okay.
Round.
Well, everybody passed on LSU. I thought he was Tennessee. Everybody
LSU.
passed on him in the first round. Shouldn't he be mad at every team that passed on him since he's now going to be a Hall of Famer? I don't get this stuff.
But what does he expect to happen? You're damn well not going to get an apology from Mike Brown. That doesn't happen. You're not going to get an apology from the people currently in the front office who had nothing to do with it. That's like getting food poisoning at a restaurant, and then it gets new management, and then you bitch at the new management. But they don't have anything to do with it, Whit. Maybe Katie indirectly. Elizabeth sure as hell doesn't. Maybe Duke on the tail end. But that was a Mike Brown decision. It's sad. Let it go, man.
Every single player gets let go because either A, they're not performing to the level they need to perform, which wasn't him, or the team thinks that you're aging and it's not worth the investment to extend you out as long as maybe you want. Every team in the NFL does the same exact thing.
They got it wrong. It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
But you've proved your point. You played well for another 6-7 years, whatever it was, and won a Super Bowl. Like, great. Mm-hmm. Like, I was happy for you when you won the Super Bowl. And then you went on 3 now tirades in 3 months about the Bengals. You're averaging once a month talking shit about a team that you don't play for, about people who don't work for them anymore. It's just, what are you doing? You're salty. This is a game by the fans, for the fans. They watch the game, they pay the cable, they pay the tickets, they pay your salary. The fans were here before Mike Brown. The fans will be here after Mike Brown. They were here before you. They were here after you. So all you're doing when you bitch is hurting the fan base. Stop. It's annoying.
I mean,
you proved your point, dude. Next.
Think of how Burrow could feel and react about Ohio State.
Yet, God.
Yet in his acceptance speech for the Heisman, he was gushing all over Ohio State. I mean,
they screwed him over.
If he wanted to grind them down, he could grind them down. But no, that's the difference in personalities. It's just the difference in people.
But I don't want to spend any more time on it. It's just, I'm tired of hearing it, man. Like, you get it. We know we fucked up, but the fans don't have anything to do with it, and the fans are the only one that's really going to hear it and care about it. So all you're doing is bitching at people that have nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
it's just, you're wasting time and pissing people off in the process, my dude.
Next.
Regardless, it's not a week in review. We do that on Wednesday. Oh, shit. That was the Birmingham Bengals talk. Birmingham. I can't even say it right. Oh, my God. They're going to pull our sponsorship.
Oh, my God.
Birmingham.
Because you cussed as you said their name.
Birmingham Meadery. Fantastic mead. If you're into, wine and like honey and all kinds of fruity beverages, like they got some good stuff. They've got that King of the North mead. They had the shirts everybody was wearing. The guy's fantastic. I talk to him on a regular basis on Twitter DMs. Great guy, great company. They ship to, I think, 42 states. If you're a Bengal fan, you'll probably be able to get your hands on some of this stuff. Highly recommend it. It's actually a pretty darn good product. Yeah. There's our brimming horn meanery. Sorry for calling it Birmingham. I have, that'll be the last time we ever get to say it. But that was your brimming horn Bengals talk here on Friday. Can you tell I've worked all day today? Jesus. Okay, so now our beloved Cincinnati Reds.
No longer are they the cellar dwellers of Major League Baseball.
No, they've got their shit together.
They're playing better. They're pitching better. It's always about the pitching.
Well, they're not getting a ton of hits, but they are getting timely hits. So I'll give them that. But the body of hitting is not quite there yet.
They're struggling tonight. They're down 6-2 in the bottom, going to the bottom of the sixth. Michael Minor, I guess, pitched good for 2 innings, and then realized he was 100 years old and couldn't go any further.
34.
Blasted.
He's 34. I'm coming up on that here soon. Don't hate me too much now. Let's give a live look in here.
Who we got? Is that Tommy Pham?
I don't know. We're gonna get sued, but it doesn't matter. Is that super choppy or is that coming across okay?
That's coming across okay.
See, I moved the router in here and I got a 100-foot long Cat 5 cable. I'm hardwired now.
All right. Well, we got.
Oh
boy, we've only got 2 hits. Only 2 hits. Boy, he took one right down the middle. Okay, Tommy.
Man.
Then he told the pitcher, time out. Give me a second.
I need to readjust my glasses on that one.
Yeah.
Gray. Yeah. I don't know who Gray is.
I don't either.
Fam's 1 for 1 with a Johnson bar.
Got him with a nice slider there.
That was a good pitch. I'm not going to hate on Tommy too much.
Perfectly pitched slider, low and just off the corner.
You can't throw a better slider. Starts in, ends out, looks like a fastball. Tommy might be in trouble here. I think he
either goes there or he goes to a high fastball. He's going to do the same pitch here.
Slider. Whoop. Hey,
all right. That wasn't a good one.
Oh my God. This is what we're relegated to because it's impossible to find a Reds game anywhere.
Let's not even talk about that. unless you want to pay $100 ransom fee to our local cable network. Oh my goodness. Jesus.
Okay. And that was your live Reds update. We got to watch Tommy Pham take strike 3.
That was actually on tape delay.
Was it?
Yes.
Sure. Yes, tape delay. And that was for commentary, education, and parody purposes only.
I wanted everybody to see what happens when you throw a good slider low and away and just hit the corner or just miss the corner. You typically send the batter back to the dugout with his bat in hand.
Well, we have a bevy of Haas comments that we've missed here in our.
Oh my goodness! I got to reduce my screen so I can. Okay, I read the thing about. Let's see where we at. Yeah, we certainly want to meet up
90. You started in 90, and that wasn't enough for you to 2 years in. I'd have been like, man, screw this. I'm picking someone else. 2 years into that hot mess.
If he started in 90. He did not get a playoff, did he?
Mm-mm.
No, because 89 was the last year that they went to a playoff, I believe.
No, they went in 90.
Did they go in the 90 season? Or was it the 89 season and then playoffs in January of 90?
I don't know. I'm a dumb fan.
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember. I just know the last game was the Bo Jackson game.
I do player evaluations and statistics. I'm not a great historian.
I should know that. Because I've hung with the Bengals with like every ounce of my being since about 1975. I should know that, but the losses kind of just blend together at this point.
Born in 85. Okay, so he didn't really know any better at 5 years old.
No, he was just his dad was watching it, and he just was sitting on the couch next to his dad, going, "What's that, Dad? Those are funny looking helmets."
I don't even remember the first time that I watched a game. I can remember the first game. Like regular season. Apparently, I went to Jacksonville when I was real little. But, the first game I went to was Kansas City in 2003. That was a hell of a game.
Mm-hmm. We know what that was. That was something to do with Priest Holmes and Dante Hall, which we're not going to go any further.
Yeah. There
were T-shirts. We'll just say there were T-shirts.
There were T-shirts made that we're not very nice to
And
priest
I believe,
homes.
and I believe you said, Dad, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't even know how to segue out of this. Like, I'm trying to think, is there a way that I can get the point across? But
No, don't worry about it. We'll
I'm
just
not
talk
gonna-
about Peter Warwick had his greatest moment as a Bengal in that game.
He had 2 touchdowns in that game.
Correct. He did a punt return and I think it was a deflected bomb.
No, that one wasn't deflected.
That wasn't deflected. He spun out of that one.
Mm-hmm.
He caught it and spun out of it. Shake and Blake. Now you're talking. Now, Shake and Blake, 90, 94, 95, 96, 97. I'm all about Shake and Blake.
Do you still have that Shake and Blake t-shirt?
I probably do. It probably comes just across my nipples. And that's about as far as it goes anyway.
Good old crop top.
Yeah. I actually saw live the first snaps as a Bengal to Jeff Blake. People think he started his career against the Cowboys at home and threw 2 bombs, I believe, to Darnay Scott in the first quarter for touchdowns or the first half. He actually mopped up. I went to a game in Cleveland at Municipal Stadium. I can't remember who our starting quarterback was.
Can we talk about how an awful name for a stadium that is, though?
Yeah, it's terrible.
They paid. They like. There was money involved in that decision too. Oh my God.
Well, anyway, I don't know who the starting quarterback was for the Bengals. I'm going to throw one out there and say maybe Jay Schrader. I really can't remember who our starting quarterback was, but he was relieved by Don Hollis. I liked Don Hollis. You probably don't even know who Don Hollis is. But Don Hollis was kind of like a Ryan Friel, or kind of like a who was the quarterback for UC that had a really good career now in Canadian Football League?
You know who I'm talking about?
I think he's in the Canadian League, or maybe it's
You mean Caleres?
Caleres.
Yeah.
Don Hollis was a lot like Caleres.
Okay.
Really athletic and could throw the ball a little bit. That's what he was like. But anyway, then Hollis got hurt. We were down to our 3rd string quarterback, and in the last series, they bring out number 8 trotting on the field, a guy named Jeff Blake. So Jeff Blake made his debut actually in Cleveland in Municipal Stadium before he put the city on its ear and, in my opinion, saved this franchise in Cincinnati. I truly believe that.
Why don't you tell your story about Jeff Blake when you got to meet him one time?
Oh,
you don't have to go into where.
I met Jeff Blake in Mason. He was just doing a signing at a local business, and I went over there on my lunch break because I was a big Jeff Blake fan. Got to
you still are.
I'm still. I love Jeff Blake. But yeah, I just went up and I talked to him, got his autograph, told him what a great quarterback I thought he was. And then I asked him the question that everybody wanted to know because the team was so bad. What is really going on? What is the story? Why can't you guys get it together? What's preventing you guys from being a Pittsburgh Steelers team or whatever? And his quote to me was, you got to chop it off at the head. You got to cut the snake off at the head. That was his comment. I think we can all read between the lines on that one.
It took him about 30 years, but I'd say the head's gone or grew a new one.
Well, I think the head decided to stop thinking. I think that's what happened.
He delegated.
Yes, he delegated. Yeah. Anyway, that was my one-time meeting with Jeff Blake, and yeah, I love Jeff Blake. He was so fun to watch. They could be losing by 15 points, but you just knew he was going to hang in there and just he launched. He just launched, and I love that.
Let it rip.
He let it rip.
Oh, here's one that I was talking to my buddies about in my group chat, Jay and John, and they're formidable Twitter people. If you want to give them a follow, a lot of people follow John. We were talking. I was sitting there just kind of daydreaming at like 1 a.m. last night, and I sent out the question. That would be
night dreaming then.
Maybe it's just dreaming.
That's not daydreaming.
Maybe it's just dreaming. But I said, guys, I think I might be drinking the Kool-Aid here, but tell me what you think. I said, is it out of the question for T and Jamar to both pass 1,300 yards? And I said, and if they really hit it off, and obviously this would mean the share for Boyd probably drops. If they really hit it off, could they both pass 15? And Jay said, that's a historic season. I said, well, obviously it's historic. But if you think about the 13 and 13, in 2006, Hushmanzada had like 1078 or 10, it was 1091 or something, right? Not quite 1100. And Chad was closing in on 1400. So between the two of them, they were right at 25. They didn't have Burrow. They didn't have the easier passing lanes that you have today. And they didn't have one extra game. I think 13 and 13 is highly realistic. If they're both healthy and it's what we know we can do, I genuinely think 1,300 yards for both of them is feasible. So 15 would be crazy, but then Boyd probably like somewhere.
Would you rather have 1,300 yards for each of them or 13 touchdowns for each of them?
Well, it's 26 touchdowns between the two of them over 17 games. That guarantees me what? Like 1.5 touchdowns a game?
Just for those two.
So that guarantees me.
You know, Mixon's going to get some, and there's going to be more shared around.
I mean, that almost, McPherson's going to be good for a kick, so that gets you up to 14 a game. You're probably going to get at least one more touchdown and a half just from whatever happens. Yeah, I mean, I think I would take the 13 and 13 for sure because those are points. Yes. I've seen them go 99 yards and not score. I've never seen a score not count.
Yeah, I get excited about plays where they get 75 and 80 yards, but when they get to stop at the 2-yard line, I almost want to just go upstairs.
Well, I've seen you lose your mind. I've seen somebody pop it for like 47 yards and get tackled at the one. You're like, now they're not going to score. And I'm like, would you calm down? Like, they've got 4 plays now to go like this far. Like you don't know they're not going to score. I understand stands are a thing, but man, like every single time someone will go tackle at the one, you're like, duh! Like you get so mad. I'm like, I get why you're mad. Like you wanted the one more yard, but it doesn't matter if it comes in like that play or the next 4. Like you're at the 1. I'll take that every time.
Okay. What else we got? We didn't spend much time on the Reds. The Reds deserve a little more time right now.
We checked in on them and they took strike 3.
They took strike 3. I'm gonna let's see if they did anything because I know Votto was coming up next. Oh, we're not hitting anymore.
Nope.
It's 7-2. Well, the other team scored. Okay, it looks like the Nationals are going to take this one.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. Haas has peaced out. So
did he peace out?
Yeah, he said goodbye. Bye, Haas.
See you, Haas. Goodbye. He's got one more thing here about Blake. Best deep ball. And on that note, unfortunately, I have to go and catch you later. Okay. Who day?
He did have a pretty deep ball.
Oh.
The boom ball. Just...
He threw it out of the screen. Couldn't see it.
Well, the camera couldn't go that high. But no, the Reds deserve more love, and they're about a 600 team over the last 3 weeks. That's a playoff caliber run. Unfortunately, you need to do that for 162 games and not 25.
Yep.
But they've made it to the point now to where, and I always say this because no one anticipated the Reds doing anything this year, but we always kind of say, if the Reds can get me to training camp, I'm good. And for the first 2-3 weeks, we were going, Jesus, we're never going to get to training camp. The last 3 weeks have gone by like that.
Speaking of the season, 100 today marks 100 days till the first game.
100 days.
A hundo right here.
100. So we're coming up on half an hour, like we said. When you do 2 shows a week in the off season, you're going to kind of sputter a little bit. We'll see if we can take this conversation a little bit. You don't like many foods, but one thing you do like is chicken wings.
Yes.
Who's the best chicken wings in the city?
I'll tell you what, the wings I really like are at Montgomery Inn.
Well, you like their sauce.
I love their sauce, so I like their wings.
Their wings aren't crispy enough for me, though.
Okay.
I need to have – I don't need it to crunch, but I need a little bit of to the skin. I hate it when I bite in and it's just kind of like bleh. you know?
Yeah, I'm more sauce than I am everything else. I like shooters.
You
I
like
like
that,
that.
like that
I like that
teriyaki.
flavor of their dry rub. I really like that flavor.
Okay, I'll give like my top 5 in the city. In no particular order. Maybe I'll give you an order when I'm done here. I love Kitty's, right across from Paul Brown Stadium.
Never been there.
They fantastic wings. I love their wings. And if you ever drive by, the guy's out there. He's got the smoker. What is that? That's like third or something, right there.
It probably is. I don't know where it's at.
All right. It's the first street before you can turn up into the city. It's kind of like that base street, like the Great American Insurance Building's on it. Everything's on that like one street.
Isn't that Pete Rose Way?
No, like a Olympia parking garage is right there.
Oh, I know what you're talking
It's
about.
like third or something.
Okay.
But it's right there. It's where like the Blind Pig and stuff is. But no, the guy's got one of those giant ass smokers on the street, and he's going early and all day long. And just if you walk by, he'll just come out with like this giant tray of wings and start pushing them inside, come back outside, put more wings up on the thing. I mean, they're freshly smoked wings every single time. They're fantastic. Those are really good. Knockback Nats. I've only had them once or twice.
I've had them twice. I'm not a fan. You know what I don't like?
Them.
I don't like wings you got to tear apart and turn them into two.
Well,
I don't like that. There's something. I mean, eating a wing, there is an experience to eating a wing. There really is. I don't like when
you get Food Network on me. I'm going on
it's kind of like crab, king crab, whatever. You're going to break them. I don't want to do that.
Okay. Taste though, they're good.
They're okay.
They're really good.
I
think they're really good. So those are up there.
I've tasted some really good ones at Quaker Steak.
I don't want to do chains. I want to do kind of.
What's that got to do with it? You said who's got the best wings?
Don't go like B-dubs and frickers and no. Give me actually good wing places. The other one I love, and this is from my coaching days, Crossroads down in Cheviot. Oh, they've got some great wings. Well, what's fun about them is they have a wing that's not listed on the menu. So if you see this, and it's fun to order them. It's a dry rub, but you have to order it and say it right, and it's kind of their joke to get you to say this. But the guy that made it, his name's Dick. So you have to say, I would like Dick's dry rub, please. And everybody, and sometimes they tell the cashiers about it. Sometimes they don't. I don't know how many times I've been there after a Friday night game and I'm like, I'll have Dick's dry rub. And there's some girl across the counter going, what did you just say to me? I'm like, I swear to God, it's on the menu. It's just it's a dry rub seasoning they do. I love Crossroads wings. We would get those for coaches meetings, and I would eat probably 30 of them. Just tear them apart real easy. So I've got Knockbats. I got Crossroads. Who else did I say? Kitty's. Those are my 3. I'm trying to think of 2 more off-the-wall ones. Max had some really good wings. Have you ever been to Max Pizza?
You did J-Max?
No, just Max.
No, haven't been there.
There's one in Covington, and then there's one kind of in Landon. You know where the Kroger's at in Landon? There's a Max Pizza out in front of there.
Yeah, I think it's actually called J-Max. I know exactly.
But their wings were pretty darn good. I like the ones I made tonight.
What wings were the first wings you ever ate? Do you remember your first wings? I remember mine.
The first ones I ever remember getting excited about, and this is going to sound pompous, was at the ESPN zone at Disney. Because they had those were
okay.
They were
again, the flavor, the sauce wasn't spot on for me, but they were okay. They were super sloppy.
Now, if I'm going to throw out a chain, if you ever get the opportunity to eat at House of Blues, they're kind of all over the place. Those wings are fantastic. I highly recommend those. I'm trying to think of like a good hot wing, just a good Like,
Well, while you're thinking about that, the first place I ever had wings, and unfortunately they're not open anymore. I drove by there maybe a month ago, and it is a place that you throw axes in the place. It's not a restaurant anymore.
oh,
It's in Covington. It was the old firehouse called Tickets. It was
yeah,
Ticket Sports Bar.
I
That's the
remember
first place
Tickets.
I ever had wings, and boy, did I get hooked on those.
How old were you?
Mid-20s?
You hadn't had a chicken wing till you were in your 20s?
Right.
I was sucking them down when I was like 6.
Well, remember, I'm so old. I mean, chickens were just evolving.
Did you predate chickens?
I think I
Is that
predated
what you're
chickens.
telling me?
My lovely wife is walking in and staring through me. I'm not sure what's going on.
I'll give you one last one. This one is a chain, but I do like their wings. And it kind of meshes with what you had said earlier. La Rosa's wings with the Montgomery sauce on them.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they do.
No.
I just had them.
They got rid of the Montgomery sauce.
I just had it like 2 weeks ago.
Holy cow. We're going to La Rosa's tonight.
I swear.
Oh, by the way, do you like chicken wings, right? Mm-hmm. Who's your favorite? Do you have a favorite? And you can think about it for a little bit. I think I know your favorite. You get them like every week.
She gets chicken wings? Oh, it's probably from, yeah.
It's the same play.
Yeah.
The shooters? Yep, she likes the shooters.
Okay, we'll throw shooters out there. I'm just not, like, I like their wings, but the rest of the menu is like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not really a fan of that.
Like, Ashley got potato rags.
Now, if they were a sponsor, I'd be a big fan.
Yeah, they're a sponsor. You have the best food ever, you know? I think every once in a while, when I do smoked wings out on the pellet grill out back, and I do the sauce right, I think I can get them down pretty well. Every once in a while.
No, I've got a place that has really good wings, and this is not to be confused with Texas Roadhouse. It's Logan's Roadhouse. Logan's Roadhouse has
smoked wings.
And
yeah,
Putters
are good.
Putters used to have drummies.
Yeah,
they were a little bigger than wings, and they were smoked. And boy, those were good too.
That was a COVID casualty. They didn't make it.
Yes, it was.
Not okay. Here, I got one last question for you.
Yep.
And I think I know the answer to this one, but it might just be one of those questions where I'm trying to date you, but I want to see if anybody else reacts to it. Best cinnamon roll.
TJ cinnamon rolls.
There it is. I knew you were going to say TJ.
I just had that conversation like 2 hours ago in Kroger. they now have Cinnabon cinnamon rolls in Kroger, and they have chocolate cinnamon rolls too.
Oh,
never saw those. And I told Kim, I said, if that was TJ cinnamon rolls, I'd be all over it. But it's Cinnabon.
I was fortunate enough to have it twice because they're incredibly difficult to find.
Well, they're in Arby's.
Yeah,
somewhere down south.
Yeah, they're in Arby's down south. But there used to be one.
There was one on Coleraine Avenue.
Well, there was one downtown.
Was there?
In like where the Wendy's was, on one of the corners. And that's the first time I'd ever had it, and it went away shortly after that.
I would go there periodically on my lunch breaks, and you would watch them, and they'd make them in front of you. They'd make them look like pretzels, or they would do all this stuff.
You all right?
Never mind. I was reading a tweet. I'm sorry. And I was going into a coma just thinking about TJ cinnamon rolls.
You were in a trance, man.
But anyway, you would watch them make them, and these cinnamon rolls, I kid you not, they were probably every bit of 5 inches in diameter.
They were big.
And about 3 inches tall. And they would barely fit in one of those little styrofoam things like they put a hamburger in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally taking a bath in that icing. Mm-hmm. Oh my Lord. And then you would bite into it, and the cinnamon would be all gooey like cheese on a pizza. It was just, oh my God, it was awesome. Okay. I would drive 500 miles for a TJ cinnamon roll. I really would.
But you're not a Cinnabon fan.
No.
How?
I don't like the icing on it. It's not the same. You know me, it's got to be right. I'm going through trauma right now because of this Jif peanut butter recall.
Yeah.
I'm eating Kroger peanut butter, and I'm telling you, I mean, I watched that guy do the review of the peanut butters. I got a hankering maybe for Skippy because I think Skippy Creamy was his number 2. They're all
stuck
out.
up on him.
They're gone. Now it's just it's all chunky. Who wants chunky peanut butter?
I eat chunky peanut butter.
That's ridiculous.
I didn't like it.
No.
But when I coached, we would have a giant table out by the locker room, and we would basically we had a whole refrigerator and a pantry at the school that I coached at. I kid you not. The fridge and freezer were full of like those 60-cent loaves of like Walmart bread. So we would have like 45 loaves of bread in this just one refrigerator full of bread. And then we would have a pantry with just a billion things of like generic peanut butter. And they had crunchy and regular. And we would just put the table out every day. Here's 2. And it was like the big like Costco jars. It was like, here's a jar of crunchy. Here's a jar of creamy. Here's 8 loaves of bread. And it would be gone. But if you wanted to eat, like, you know, I was working and going to school. I didn't have time to eat before the practice sometimes. So I'd get in there and all that would be left was crunchy. So I'm walking out on the field with like crunchy bread, like a triple-decker peanut butter sandwich, like an absolute Lardicus on the 30-yard line. I'm like, I haven't eaten today and it's good protein. This is wheat bread. Don't hate me too much. But all the kids are like, you're eating the crunchy? And I was like, you didn't leave anything.
You made a Dagwood sandwich out of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That one last thing on peanut butter, what this is reminding me of now is Reds fantasy camp. I've attended a couple of Reds fantasy camps. It's really, really great time. Those pails of bazooka bubble gum.
Yeah,
they might stand 6-7 inches tall, and they're maybe 9 inches in diameter. Pretty big pail.
They're a bucket.
They're like a bucket. They have buckets of peanut butter. Is part in that room. There's a cafeteria where you can have anything off the griddle or the grill or whatever, and then they have cereal and peanut butter and jelly and all kinds of stuff. I'm just reminded of that. And apparently, the commissioner of the the Reds fantasy camp, Mr. Doug Flynn, who is still joked about as being the glue of the 75 Reds.
Listen, he talked shit about me in a batting cage. I haven't forgotten.
Oh, he did. That's right. That was hilarious.
He watched me turn around and try it left-handed.
Hilarious. Anyway, apparently somebody was sucking up to the commissioner, and when they got there in Arizona, they handed him a jar of Jif creamy peanut butter. Ooh. And he snatched that up like it was gold.
Oh, didn't think this show would be about peanut butter tonight, but it is. You don't watch Stranger Things, do you?
No, you told me about people hanging upside down and stuff.
It's a little, if you haven't watched, it's a little exorcism-y this year. It's a little rough. But one of the big things is it's based in the 80s, and they kind of run with the Cold War theme. So there's a lot of like Russia involvement in this show. And they're trying to smuggle somebody out of Russia. And they're working with a guy who kind of plays both sides, like a double agent. And they go to like his storage locker area where he gets like, he's like, I have guns, I have, clothes, I have U.S. Army stuff, I have Russian Army stuff. There's a bed in there, there's beer in there. And he's like, in the best thing. And he pops the top, and it's like 50 jars of Jif peanut butter. And he just like takes his hand. He's like, this is the best thing America has to offer. It's Jif peanut butter. Every time I see that, I was like, if my dad was a Russian spy, he would be smuggling. And it was like a crate the size of my bed. And he had like 3 crates stacked up. He's like, peanut butter, it's the best thing. And I was like,
one more thing about peanut butter. And this bothered me because I really thought that I had found the holy grail of peanut butter. I was so disappointed because it was like $5 for a jar that should normally be like $3.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Products
are expensive.
Well, they were playing off the name on this one. It was Reese's.
Oh, it's not good.
Reese's peanut butter is not all that, but I will say Reese's peanut butter cups are the Mac Daddy of all candies. We won't get into that, but they rule the world.
Maybe that'll be next week.
Kroger,
Next week we can rank our candies.
There's like 20 different display things for Reese's when you go to Kroger. The name of the grocery store should be Reese's, not Kroger. I see the name Reese's more than I see Kroger.
Now I will say I bought it because I was really excited. It was around Easter time. This was a couple years ago, and I was like, you know what? Because my wife eats peanut butter more than she breathes oxygen. I think she swapped the two out. But she got really messed up from that Jif recall. Let me tell you, we had 3 jars of it, and she was on the toilet for a week. What is happening? And I'm looking at the Jif. I think you have salmonella, honey. just saying. But we bought it, and I was like, I'm gonna try it first because I'm not a huge peanut butter person. So if I like it, it's kind of like, okay, it's probably pretty good if I like it. And I took a bite, and I was like, I kind of expected it to be like the peanut butter filling in a Reese's.
It's not.
It's mixed with flour, so it's kind of got that, like, I don't even know the texture. It's not straight peanut butter. But this was straight peanut butter, and quite frankly, it's a little jar, no bigger than a can of, like this. And it was like $6, and it tasted like Peter Pan. I was like, really? Like, I spent twice as much money on a peanut butter just for the name.
We have a special guest as we exit tonight.
Shiesty.
This is Joe Shiesty Burrow.
Joe Shiesty Burrow. She looks like she's having an existential crisis. Her eyes are like, what is happening? Should I bring Bailey up here and see what she does?
What's that?
Should I bring Bailey up here and see what happens? Bring my beagle up here.
Oh. She's getting ready for football season. She said 100 days to go. 100 days, Shiesty.
Okay.
I think that about wraps it up.
Well, hold on. Are we gonna go to opening day? Well, you have tickets.
Well, I'm going.
I'm thinking about buying tickets. I don't know.
I definitely want to be there. I want to kick the hell out of this.
I want to be there for the absolute dismantling that I think is going to happen, because they don't have a quarterback and their defense ain't much to think about,
Well, I think the Bengals are going to have that chip on their shoulder too to start, because everybody acts like they were just a run-of-the-mill team. I still don't get that, but let's not get into that right now. Let's prove it.
I could see them blowing up Pittsburgh, and they interview Burrow at like the 40-yard line after the game, and he goes, "Next one."
Yeah. I thought it was ironic. Lance McAllister had something on Twitter that said, finish this sentence. It's 100 days to go before football starts. And people were just commenting on the Steelers. And 2 people within like 6 tweets of each other had the Bengals winning 38-10. Same score. I thought, maybe there's something.
I think we've done that before. I think in one of the Dalton years, we absolutely smoked them 38-10. I think that might be a little like PTSD coming out.
Isn't it weird that we beat Baltimore by the same score twice last year?
As Joe Burrow would say.
Once when they were healthy and once when they weren't healthy.
As Burrow would say, it was a lot to a little. That's the best. That's the best Joe Burrow quote. It was a lot to a little. That's one. It's great. Like we just talked about, he will rip Baltimore, but he has nothing but good things to say about Ohio State. The people that like threw him under the bus and almost ended his career. Yeah. Baltimore, he's just like, yeah, they suck. Like, all right. Like where does he draw the line? Like once he knows he can kick your ass, he's getting ready to start running his mouth. I don't know.
We'll have to find out. We got to get him on the show. What else is he doing? Playing video games, watching SpongeBob, having a good time?
I invested last year. Let's see if you remember this one. In the old clamshell SP.
Yes, I remember that.
Mine got stolen at Marshall. So I'll do a little humble brag here. I've got my original Pokemon Yellow that I'm probably gonna crack into tonight. And
are you just showing off for Joe?
Joe.
Burrow. When Burrow decides to watch us.
Please come on our podcast, Joe. I have Pokemon. Yeah. I'll let you play on the Game Boy Color from 1996, right? 8.
That's almost older than Burrow. That's close.
I mean, I was 4. I didn't have one of those. The first one I got was the little rectangular one that didn't have a light, and I used to sit in the back of the car with the light on, and you guys would bitch at me on the way to Florida. We can't see. Turn the light off. I have driven with the light on in the car several times. It has never impeded my vision. I think that was a generational lie that parents told to their kids just to get them to turn the light off, is that they were blinded by it. I'm calling out your entire posse. That was a lie.
Oh, well. All right.
As always,
Hooday!
Hooday! Now I need a cinnamon roll. Goodbye.
Yes.